Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match show on the internet. We just come back from the Molyneux where it was West Ham 3, Wolves 2. Scott, take us starting lineup, mate.
A few changes for this one. Femi Ainsley in goal. Yeah. Looked like we started as a 4-4-1-1, didn't it? So we've got Kufal right back, Criswell left back, Diop and Dawson in the centre. Fornals on the right, Masuaku on the left with Noble and Souček in the middle, and sort of a Lingard playing as the tip in the midfield behind Antonio.
Yeah, I don't like football anymore. I don't like it. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the old blood pressure, is it? Oh, West Ham United, what do you do for us? Even though you've put us in the top 4 tonight, you have flashbacks to that Arsenal game, didn't you? But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it, mate? It's football. I suppose that's why we love it.
Mm. It was such a. I mean, we'll start from the very beginning. The day started. I mean, we had sort of heard the news a bit earlier than everybody else about Rice, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. That's why I don't fucking leak this sort of shit. Like
I said to you last night, didn't you? I texted you last night because someone told me, and I just didn't. I'm not the sort of person. I didn't want to give everyone the bad news. I'm just honestly, myself.
Yeah, there was rumours flying about, and then we made a few sort of inquiries, and I got a few texts and all that, and you was one, and someone else, I won't say who was one, but they sort of confirmed it, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to go down the fucking toilet now, and all of that sort of thing. And I spent the whole day. I'd done a video earlier when I was in Southend because it sort of got sort of semi-confirmed, because you always know when something's going on when there's a rumour flying around and the people that are in the know are not saying fuck all. Mm-hmm. That's when you know that there's something going on. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm racking my brains through the night and through the day to see how do we replace him? How do we fucking replace him? We can't play this. We got this team coming up. We can't. And then we start the game today. Listen, I don't want to see. The only reason I'm a bit worried about Noble is I don't want to see Noble become the scapegoat, because I think Noble's give us enough service in his life that he shouldn't be the one that everyone's berating and fucking whinging and moaning at. And you always get that one at the stadium when their name's read out and you get a little hiss and a boo and or a groan. And I don't want to see Mark Noble do that. Listen, I'm going to fucking say it now. He was as poor as everyone else in the second half, but he fucking was playing out his skin in the first half.
I think West Ham put up a stat after the game that he had the most interceptions and broke up the play most in the game. And I think you're right, mate. I think especially in the first half, I thought he played really well. Second half, I think the whole team were poor, really, non-existent. But first half, Mark Noble, look, he's got a lot on his shoulders at the moment. He knows he's not first choice. He knows he's got fans on his back. He knows his legs are going. But if Moyes is going to give him his chance, he's going to play. And fair play to him today. And as you said, mate, losing Declan Rice, I mean, me and Scott spoke about it on the show before the watch-along. It's a massive, massive blow. It's a massive dent. But I said to Scott, and me and Scott both said that if we can go out here tonight and get 3 points, it shows how far we've come as a club and as a team. And they dug in tonight. And look, it was backs against the wall most of the games, and the stats after the game will show you. But as Graham says, it's the stat in the top corner that matters the most, and we won.
That's it, and that's the thing. We were saying it in the build-up. We said Noble needs to step up, and Noble did step up today. He wasn't outstanding, but he stood up. He stood up and was counted. Like I said, most interceptions in the game. It goes to show how important he was to go on and get them 3 points tonight. He didn't do the pretty stuff. He done the dirty stuff.
I was very proud of the team tonight, especially in that first half. I mean, Masuaku coming back, he looked like he ain't been away.
I thought that as well, mate. I thought that exactly.
Unbelievable.
Just carried on, didn't he?
And look, Jesse Lingard as well. I mean, we'll get on to, I know we're going to speak about his goal in a minute now, but just before that goal, Antonio had a chance and he hit the post. Well, the keeper pushed it onto the post, but from the start, West Ham were on it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They were on it.
How good did him and Lingard look going forward,
Oh.
just driving it? What we said in the build-up with Antonio, just driving at defenders. You know, they could not handle him.
I think Lingard, honestly, is the way he played tonight. It's gonna the more and more he plays like this, the more and more I think Man United are going to keep him and give him another chance.
Cool.
But then again, if he's happy and settled in London and he wants to move, he's only got a year left. He can force a move out of United. It's just how much they want for him now. Because every time he plays well, I celebrate when he scores, but I think that's an extra million gone on.
I've said this. Look, listen, I'm getting Payet vibes off him at the minute. You know what I mean? He's playing that well. It's just got. He's got class oozing out of him. And I'll be honest with you, I never saw that out of Lingard before he came to West Ham. I never saw that part of his game. Maybe I was a bit sort of was blinded by his social media. I thought he was a bit of a prat, if I'm quite honest with you. I couldn't love a player more at the minute. He's, what he done for the first goal, like, it was like Ravel Morrison against Tottenham. It was exactly like that. Picked up that ball, kept on driving, and then the little lift over the keeper. But for me, it was what he done with the second, which was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
The first goal, it was Antonio's run that was the key to that, because Lingard obviously carried it forward. It was Antonio's run that Connor Cody followed him and allowed Lingard to have that little free bit of space, and he's dinked it over the goalkeeper. But yeah, you're right. The second goal, it was a bit like, do you remember what Berbatov done to us at Old Trafford when he skinned James Collins? What Lingard, as you said, mate, what Lingard adds to this team is he adds calmness, class. He's been there, done it. He's played in World Cup semi-finals for England. He's played in FA Cup finals for United. He scored winners in the cup finals. He adds that experience. And you see it in the last couple of minutes, what he does. He runs it to the corner, and he knows that he'll get another player to come over there with him and hold it in the corner, get the throw-ons, get the corners. We never really used to see that at West Ham.
I've never... They was kicking off about that, weren't they, at the end?
Yeah. That's what he said to him. Why to play like that?
They're winning 3-2 with a chance to go full from what? I mean, look, Wolves have... They played the pantomime villain tonight. Quite. They was kicking the shit out of us, to be quite honest with you. At times, it's at that time in the season where I think some of the players are thinking, "Fuck it," you know what I mean? Like, there's no pressure on them, and you get a team like that. A bit like, you remember the Chelsea Tottenham game when
battle at the bridge.
the battle at the bridge and all that, when they're kicking the shit out of each other. That's what that started it. Which we'll talk about this a little bit in a minute. It's cost us a few bodies tonight. Unfortunately,
you say that though, but the first two bookings were both our two centre halves.
I know.
They're worried me a bit.
That had me panicked. That had me panicked. Both of them picking up bookings early on.
Diop and Dawson were very shaky tonight. You messaged me, Scott, and we both said the same thing. Very shaky. They look nervous. I mean, look, before, I know we're going to talk about the Antonio picking up the injury and going off, but before he went off, I thought Antonio he had them on toast, mate. Honestly, they could not handle him. He was running at them. He was frightening them. He was nicking the ball off of them. His pace. I mean, if he would have stayed on that pitch today and not gone off injured, we could have won by a hell of a lot more today.
Yeah. Do you think, you remember a few games back where we criticised his movement? I think there was I can't remember who went through, but we said he ran towards him and ended up, bringing the defenders to shut down his space. Yeah. Tonight, he done the exact opposite. He made the perfect striker's run, and he gave Lingard that option. Lingard had the option to play him in that little right-hand pocket for him to get onto, but that run drew the defender away. And then Lingard got the space to get his shot away.
I mean,
it's it's a bit more experience shown by Antonio. Yeah. He's like learning a bit more.
Yeah, the second goal with Lingard. I mean, Masuaku come in, sort of took the ball off him, crossing. What a finish from Fornals.
Yep.
How good was he tonight? He's been out, and honestly, he's
until the second half. But we've talked. I mean, there's going to be some words about the second half. It's not all fucking, it weren't all fucking roses tonight.
No. And I sort of tweeted this out after the game. When there's 8 games to go, 9 games to go, and you're in the top 4, I don't think performances really matter. I think it's results and the free.
Yeah, of course it is.
And
it goes all the way up the league because performances are not. They're not the most important thing, as you say, mate. It's the way you get over. Like the thing that worries me, and I think it's the definition of madness, right? And I think this is the definition of insanity. In fact, is doing the same things and expecting a different result. I think that's what they call what the definition of insanity is, and that's what worried me. But we'll talk about that. We've got a third goal to talk about, so we'll get onto all of that sort of stuff in the second half of the game. But Fornals was really good tonight. I think 30 minutes. I think they was all really good. Really good.
It was carbon copy of the Arsenal game, wasn't it? The way we started, and Fornals for me was brilliant, and him and Masuaku both coming back. I mean, obviously Masuaku's been out a lot longer, and the gutting thing in the first half was not only conceding the one just for half time, but was Antonio going off, and I'm hoping that it's not. He sort of walked off all right, didn't he? He come on the pitch after the game as well, so hopefully it's nothing too serious and we don't lose him as well. But his replacement, Jared Bowen, when he come on, what a finish from him! I mean, and Lingard once again with a run and the through ball. Their goalkeeper should have done better, probably should have saved it, but the Powers beat him at the front post. And it was a great finish from Bowen. Pleased for him as well.
To be fair, we need with Antonio potentially injured. We all know Bowen's got that in him. We all know there's a player there. We just haven't seen the best of Bowen, and maybe he's been a bit, restricted by certain players and things like that. But let's hope we can get a song out of Bowen, because that's what we've done well this season. Is that when someone stops scoring, someone else starts scoring, and when someone goes out injured, the people coming in or the people that are replacing him are stepping up, and everyone at some point is stepped up. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about the signings earlier on. Like Thomas Souček, for me, he's probably up there for Ham of the Year. Yeah, I would say he's up there for Ham of the Year. But you think about the signings that have come in. Souček, he's as I said, up there for Ham of the Year. Soufal, he's brilliantly filled in a position that we've lacked for years. Dawson, how fucking good's Dawson been? And it's easy. Like, to be fair, he was all over the shop at points today, and has been for the last couple of games. But think about when he first came in that League Cup game. Everyone, look, you only have to go back. I'll find the clip when I was absolutely fucking devastated that we signed him. He's been as important as anyone, especially with O'Connor going down. The organizer, the one that stepped up, and then you look at now Lingard. Any four of them, you've got one of them in a season. You've done well in a transfer window. To have all four of them is phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. But you say that it's absolutely brilliant, and hopefully that's it's scouting and all that, and it's not just luck, but it's the lack of it now. Rice has gone down, which we all feared, and to be fair, the boys have stepped up, but we are running thin on the ground now. Like, Antonio's gone down. That's another one. We're playing with 2 keepers on the bench anyway.
Yeah. We've got Yarmolenko to come back. Ogbonna should be back next week.
He's the key.
He's the key. I think Ogbonna will be the key for these last 8 games of the season. But I know, listen, Rice is a massive loss, and we're hopefully we'll have him back for at least 3 or 4 games of the season if we're lucky. But yeah, you're right. The squad is fit, but I think the boys stepped up tonight. I really do, and I'm so proud of them. Because this Declan Rice news, because I can imagine the morale and in the changing room, their heads would have been a little bit down because they've lost a key player. you know. But I think the boys stepped up tonight and they've done so well. And look, we're 3-0 up, and I've got to admit that Traore, me and Scott spoke about him earlier, and we sort of put his stats up and that, and his stats weren't good, but we both turned around and said that he will cause us problems. And I got that run down the wing and that ball was unbelievable. That was fast, and it was a great finish as well.
I'll be honest with you, when I was making the graphics for that and like looking at his stats, I was thinking like, I think I was making a mistake. If I'm honest with you, like when I'm typing them out, and I'm thinking like, no goals.
Nah.
He must have scored 1 goal. I'm typing them out, and as it got to assists, no assists. He must have made 1 assist. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the reason why I chose him is
the 2 sort of stats that, you know, Dendoncker and him had sort of 56 shots between the 2 of them, and hadn't scored. You know, like one of 6 players not to score with that many shots in the league. I thought, well, 1's going in, isn't it? And what is it? He's got the assist. He's got the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming. I was saying when I was doing the preview and looking at that stat, I was sitting there thinking, I'm gonna mention it, but it's gonna come back to bite us, and unfortunately, it did.
That's the reason why I chose him, Scott, because he always seems to have a good game against us. We said last season when he come on against us, he ripped us apart, and then Wolves won the game. But it was one of them. It's a hammer blow just before half time, and it was like, you're thinking to yourself, here we go. You're thinking about what happened a couple of weeks ago against Arsenal. Definitely. Whether Wolves got the quality to come out and do what Arsenal done in the second half. Obviously, it turned out they didn't, but it could have been a totally different game, totally different second half.
But that's the thing. It is worrying that we didn't see out the half, especially we didn't learn. And this is my problem. This is why I say that we need Ogbonna back, because you see there was moments in that first half where Dawson's having a go at Diop, because Diop's getting caught flat-footed. He's getting caught in between the players. And you see at one point, Dawson attacks the ball. There's 2 players on him, who I think one of them heads over, and he's shouting at Diop. And I know we'll get on to their second goal in a minute, but Diop needs to really take a long, hard look at himself tonight, because his performance, for me, defensively, was below par. And I think he's making Dawson look bad.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you there, mate. It wasn't Diop's greatest night, but one thing we done a lot in the second half was a massive mistake, is that we let them have too much room in the midfield, and Neves started to get his foot on the ball a bit more and started to control the midfield. And yeah, you can't do that with players like they've got Neto, Neves, that when they get on the ball, they want to play football, and you know that's where someone like a Declan Rice will break it up. And unfortunately, we didn't have Declan Rice tonight. But it was weird. It was weird. I've never seen Declan Rice tweet during a game before, because he's never misses a game. So it was weird seeing him tweet. I was thinking it was a fake account at first, but no, he was like in good spirits, like during the game, tweeting, celebrating the goals and all that. So it shows how close that they are. The team are, you know, the squad is.
Yes. Listen, what if the thing that pissed me off right earlier on is that Rice got ruled out. Right, it's been ruled out. If you believe in anyone in the time frames, it's between 3 weeks and 8 weeks. Right, that could be. We could be missing him for the next 3 or 4 games. We could be missing him for the rest of the season and the Euros. I don't think it's that bad, but you know, likelihood is 3 or 4 games he's going to be missing from now. And it was like the whole world had collapsed. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The whole world had collapsed. You know what I mean? Like, let the boys play before you start writing them off. Do you know what I mean? Like, even people I was messaging privately are saying to me, like, that's it, it's fucking done now and all that. And I was like, yeah, it's bad, but, you know, we've got to scrape points out of probably 5 of our next 8 games. And I think we're just good enough to do that. Look, someone in the chat saying Rice has said 2 games. Like, the whole world has not collapsed. You you just got to chill out a little bit. Like, we've got the points tonight. That's another, push towards that. And as I said before, it's not, not getting there is not a disaster. It's not a disaster.
Exactly.
It's just putting in the efforts, But as we get closer and closer, it's a bit like the Leicester title challenge. Like when Ranieri was in charge, he weren't looking at the title come this stage of the season. But every week that passes, we never thought we'd be in fourth position this weekend, even this weekend, because you'd have put your house on Chelsea to beat West Brom. You'd have fucking put your house on Tottenham to beat whoever the fuck they drew with. I can't even remember who it was now. But do you know what I mean? Like, so many, and Everton dropping points there, and we haven't dropped points. Yeah, we dropped the points last week, but we again, the encouraging parts are you got to take the encouraging part, and this is what the boys have got to take, is that for 30 minutes in last week's game, for 30 minutes in this week's game, we was absolutely fucking excellent. Best attacking football. I think this week's attacking football was better than last week's attacking football, and that was the best. What we've got to do is extend that. Extend it to 45 minutes. We might go 4-0 up, and then it's game over. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we have improved, mate. We only conceded 2 this week.
yeah, exactly. But again, defensively, we lost a little bit tonight. We lost a little bit of shape tonight. That could come because of the Rice injury. You know what I mean? Because we've had to change shape again. But there is positives to take there, and it's nerve wracking. Don't get me wrong. If you watched our watch along, you thought Don was. We thought we was getting beat 4-0 the way he was talking. You know what I mean? You just got to chill out a little bit. I'm not as bad in these games. I am bad sometimes, don't get me wrong. But when we're up there and we're playing good football and we're, and we're picking up points by playing bad and all that. Even last week's draw ain't a fucking disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Because how many times have you fucking come, been in that position and lost the game? You're drawing to Arsenal, which if someone would have said to you, against Arsenal, you've got to draw 0-0. You'd fucking take it. It's only because the fact you're 3-0 up and you chucked it away it hits you in the throat. But we're picking points up in the right positions. We're picking points up in the right games. Leicester next week, and then Chelsea. If we can get points out of them, any points. Now, look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. We are now 4th in the league. We've played the same games as everyone else, or less. And we are in control of our own destiny.
That's it.
That's ours. If we crack on, it's ours.
Yeah, and that's it. It's ours now to throw away.
Yeah, exactly. It's ours. But Scott, if the squad fitness comes down, I'm not going to blame Moyes. I'm not going to blame the team. Fuck it. I'm not even going to have a go at the fucking the owners and all that, because what's the fucking point? They're not listening. I'll wait till we go back to have a go at the owners. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But the squad fitness, it's pissed me off. It pisses me off, something chronic. But you can't keep on moaning about the same things, and especially at these times in the season.
Thing is, mate, the Declan Rice news was, it was disappointing, but the negativity I see on social media today was what's the point of us turning up tonight because we've already lost the game? There's no point playing. But exactly. And I think that's, as much as I love Declan Rice and he's a massive player for us, I think it's a bit disrespectful to the rest of the players in the squad that people are down in tools. And I'm glad that the boys have dug in tonight. Don't matter how we got the 3 points. We've got the 3 points. And it's shut a lot of people up. It's shut a lot of people up tonight.
That's the thing. You see it on social media. 9 games left, season's finished. It just shows no respect to the other players on the pitch. Look, we all knew the loss of Rice could have a massive impact. We all knew it could have gone horribly wrong, but it didn't. And I'll tell
you one thing though, Scott. I was a bit worried. I thought our squad ain't that thing. I thought he was bringing Stuart Pearce on at one point when he was down on the touch, right?
But the thing is, as well, we got Leicester next. Then we got Newcastle squeezed in between Leicester and Chelsea. So Leicester's going to be a tough fixture. Look, Newcastle are no mugs. That's going to be a tough game up at St James's Park as well. So
some of these big team fans, man. They just can't take. I mean, look, I'm going to show. We don't normally do this, but I'm going to show one comment. Right, Barek Ben Yada says, "Taking a piss, ours to lose." Unfortunately, mate, no matter what way you want to spin it, or what way you want to say, "Oh, fucking Chelsea this," or Tottenham that, we are there at the same point in the season. So whether you want to talk about us being a small club and all that, it is ours to lose. That is a fact. It is ours. If the season finished now, we would own it. It is ours to lose. We're in control of it. If you can win every game, and if we would do the same, it is ours to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You can't overtake us. It's ours to lose, and that's what I don't like about these. You see them in the watch-alongs and all of that. You know, they're coming in and they're laughing. Oh, you're going to bottle it again, and they're Tottenham fans. I can't believe my ears at sometimes when they come in and they're saying it. But you know, that nobody wants us there. Nobody gives us any respect. Nobody gives us any credit for being there. You know, even pundits and all of that. None of them, when they're talking about the fucking talk about top four, none of them are mentioning us. And we're full.
After the game yesterday, they was mentioning Spurs and Liverpool. Didn't even mention West Ham for the top four race. But yeah, look,
I'll say to that though. I'll say to that, keep doing it.
Yeah, that's what we can do, Scott. Look, if you look at it like this, as you say, we've got Leicester and did you say Newcastle coming up?
Yep.
Like it gets to this stage of the season where if you can't win both, you're better off winning one and losing one than drawing both, because 3 points are better than 2, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right. it gets to that stage of the season, but hopefully we'll listen. I'd love to see us win every game, but it's a squeaky bum time. But I mean, look, we ain't even mentioned Wolves' second goal yet. I've got to say, 5 goals tonight, 5 great goals, because that was another great finish from their striker, De Silva, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Great finish. I thought Fabianski could have done a bit better, if I'm honest. I thought Fabianski puts his leg out, he saves that. But look, I'm not going to slag off Fabianski. He's been great for us, especially this season.
But that's that their second goal is key to me to show how Diop wasn't alert enough, wasn't switched on enough, because he gets caught flat-footed under the ball. He's miles away. He doesn't know where the striker is. He's not paying attention to where the striker's gone. He's miles away from him, and he turns completely the wrong way. And that then there's so much space for that guy to finish. And yeah, all right, you can put a bit of, say Fabianski could have done a bit better, but there's other chances tonight where Fabianski's pulled out a decent save to keep us in the game. And these are the things that players, the younger players like Diop, he's still a young player. He needs to improve and learn, and he needs to watch that game back, watch that video back of that goal, see his positioning now, see the movement of the striker, and learn from it.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. And look, these sort of games are nervy. You're 3-2 up, 10 minutes to go or whatever. And with what happened against Arsenal, you think, here we go. We're going to concede late. But fair play to the boys. They stuck in till the end. Frustrated Wolves as well. Lingard, just like what Lingard was doing. They was drawing fouls. Mark Noble, to his credit, was still doing that in the 90th minute, drawing out that foul on the edge of the box. And we see it out, mate. We see it out. And we got... Listen, as I said at the beginning of the show, performances don't really bother me. 3 points do. I'd love to see us play like we did for the 30 minutes every week for 90 minutes. But unfortunately, we ain't that sort of team at the moment. But we know when to defend at the right times. And as you say, Ogbonna coming back will be massive. Yarmolenko coming back just to add that depth to the bench will be massive. Lanzini as well. So. Listen, I don't know if that's true about Declan Rice that he's saying it's only 2 games, but if it is, then that's massive. That's absolutely massive to get him back. Yeah,
and apparently Moyes has said Antonio's injury isn't serious, so hopefully that's true as well.
To me, it looked like Antonio didn't want to come off, and he looked like he had the ump that he was taken off.
Well, I thought because I was messaging a couple of mates back and forth, and I thought the Wolves player had trodden on his calf.
Rubbing in fourth place, back and forth.
But I thought he'd got a dead calf because he walked off quite all right. But it looked one of the players, when he held on to the ball, one of the players trod on his leg, and I thought maybe he twisted something there or got a dead calf from that. But he walked off, and he seemed okay when he walked off, so that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Souček obviously went down. He carried on playing. I think he just got a cut to the back of his heel, wasn't it? Someone stepped on his foot. I was a bit worried, I must admit, when Lingard went down and he rolled off the pitch.
Yeah,
I was a bit worried. But I think just no more training for the rest of the season. Just wrap them up and cotton wool and release them on match days. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we got the points, boys. That's the important thing. Like, you can sit here stressing all you like, but we got the points. And at this point, as you said, right at this point in the season, I don't give a shit how we get them, as long as we get them. And that's the thing. You've only got to get lucky another 3 or 4 more times, and then we're in a good position. So,
what we got 8 games left. If we get five wins out of them 8, that could secure us top 4, because we played Chelsea and Leicester as well. And as Nicky said earlier,
as well, like you got to look at the teams like Liverpool. They're in a bit of form at the right time of the season, because they're going to be desperate to get in that top 4. How can you win the league one year and not fucking in the top 4 the next? It'd be devastating for them. In terms of attracting that. They wanted to go to the next level now. They thought that league title was going to make them sort of like the Man United of football. And if they don't even win in the top 4, that'll put a massive dent in their hopes of.
I'll tell you what, their fans will love you saying that.
What's that?
Liverpool making them the Man United.
No, they wanted. No, what I'm saying is, well, maybe I should say go back to the Liverpool the 80s. Rather than being the Man United of the 90s, but in the Premier League era, Man United are the ones. But they was thinking that they could, build a team. But if they don't get in the top 4 now, the likes of Salah and Mane and all them big players might start turning their heads to the Real Madrids and whoever else comes
and the West Hams.
In
the Champions League. No, but
the good thing is we don't have to play them.
No,
that's the other good thing, and the other sides in and around us have all got to play each other as well. I think in the running, Chelsea's got.
I think Tottenham's last month is sort of dreadful. They've got the top 4, I think.
So that's what I mean. If you look at that, you look at their run-ins compared to ours. Destiny's in our own hands. That's how we've got to look at it.
We've got to play Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton, Everton. They're teams that we've beat. Apart from Chelsea, we've beat this season. So they're games that we can pick up points, and it's exciting. I mean, you think about this time last year with 8 games to go. I'd love to see the post-match pints or what we were saying with 8 games to go. Are we going to stay up? I remember people saying, we're dead and buried. We're not even going to survive. We're down. And now look at us. We're sitting here now with 8 games to go thinking we might nick 4th. We might. When people are laughing at us, and there's probably fans watching this now going, oh, look at these mugs getting a bit above themselves. There's 8 games to go, and we're in the top 4. Who knows? The
thing is, as well, you go back to when Project Restart, when we all restarted after the lockdown. You look at that form that we took on there and then carried on into this season. It's no different to what Leicester did. Look, we ain't going to go and win the league. I know that, but Leicester, they were fighting relegation. They went on a great run, then changed manager the next season, and then went on to win the league. It's just that consistency of getting results and grinding out results.
Do you know what? I think I'm more excited about finishing top 4, not getting Champions League, but so Nicky can whip out that video. And he can just shove it in all their faces. It's massive. Listen, I know we're not in the games at the moment, and that's the only disappointing thing with this season, but it's exciting. It's nice to be talking about positives, and it just seems to have been positive all season, apart from obviously...
Someone said in the fucking comments there, they're right. Fuck, if we win next week, we can nick 3rd.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy to think we're even talking about this, but this is football at the moment, and this is the wacky world of West Ham United. That's why we love the football club.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
But if it don't happen, mate, that's it, isn't it? It's just it is. But
if it's the West Ham way, mate, we'll lose the next 8 and finish about 10th.
that was about teeth. Right, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I'm happy, mate. I'm all done. Happy days. 3 points.
No worries at all. Scott, go on. See us home.
See you home. Cool. Thank you very much for watching tonight's edition of Post-Match Pint. We'll be back again.
Plug the build-up show.
We'll be back again with all the build-up to the Leicester game. I'll be around from a preview. There'll be a musings going up. There'll be an On The Social is returning.
Tomorrow.
I think Dan may be bringing us a new show as well. Nicky will be on tomorrow with the morning after the night before. And then me and Ryan will be back for the build-up show, and Nicky and Ryan back for the watch-along. So, keep up to date with the channel. One thing left to say, come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.